When you hear the headlines, to some extent, you feel the pain, but you can separate. But during this piece, it made it very real for me.
We are thrilled to be here at Busboys and Poets and to be talking about a beautiful new production opening at the Kennedy Center. And I'm very grateful to the artists who are here tonight and members of this community for what I think is an extraordinary collaboration that you're going to hear about this evening.
And this is a story about a family having to deal with some tough issues.
What happens to a family, to a community, when a black teenage boy is killed by a police officer?
My friends, I was always the opera kid, but when I told them I'm doing an opera with this subject matter, everybody's coming. They can see themselves.
Right.
Taz, you and Jeanine did such a great job at giving so many different access points for so many different people. I don't want people to think it's just a black show. It's a show about family, and we will say that for over and over and over again.
And what I think this opera is going to open a lot of eyes, but I think more importantly, it's to have the difficult discussion about what policing has been in our country. Police played a very big role in racism in our country, and they still do. And I think it was very important for me anyways to ensure that everybody that works at the Metropolitan Police Department understands that.
But as the chief said, as police officers, you need to listen. Black people in this country, I think people don't understand that we have been injured, and when someone has a complaint, you need to listen.
And for every, if you want to use the word bad cop, there are hundreds of thousands of good police officers. You only unfortunately hear about the bad ones. The opera doesn't have all the answers, but hopefully it'll provoke questions.
I think that the arts are so important because it gives us a vehicle in which to really sort of personalize the issue while giving space to the real issue that we talk about sort of with the ACLU. It is the systemic issues, like the chief said, about the history, right, where it comes from, what needs to be changed.
When you hear the headlines, to some extent, you feel the pain, but you can separate. But during this piece, it made it very real for me. So I've learned to appreciate life a lot more. I've learned to use my art to express life a lot deeper. And I learned the power of art.
We are different artists after this. After doing this show, where I am a different artist entirely. The way I approach anything is different.